Hey everyone, it's V. I hope you're well. It is Wednesday, nearly forgot the day there. And I wanted to come on very quickly to speak about non-textbook branding and storytelling techniques. So I'm hoping that some of you will join me. If you're seeing me for the first time, I am a branding and marketing coach and consultant. I'm also a trainer. I run live events and also online courses. And I speak as well internationally as well as in the UK. So far this year, I've been booked to speak at quite a number of events all across the UK. And I'm really looking forward to also speaking at an international event in March for International Women's Day. So if you're live or once you're on and you watch the replay, please do let me know that you have watched so that I know that you've watched with me. And what I want to do today is really share some tips on how you as a business owner can improve your branding without actually needing to spend a penny, without actually needing to get overwhelmed about it. Because a lot of us are in, hey Debbie, a lot of us are in our business and we're really getting flustered about branding and marketing, but actually it's just a simple case of getting clarity on what you need to do and then implementing it at a pace that suits you. So let me just quickly check that I sound okay, because I normally have issues with my Wi-Fi and today the gremlins might be around. So I want to make sure that I have got rid of them. Let's just make sure. So when you're watching, just let me know where you're watching from, as in location, and also if you can, whereabouts is your business located? All right. So the reason that I want to talk about branding in particular and also storytelling is that I know that a lot of textbook marketeers will tell us that brand storytelling is about talking about business behind the scenes, which is really, really, really textbook branding and marketing advice. Okay. Hey, Tanya. Hey, Charmaine. So when I talk about brand storytelling, I'm looking at it from a very different angle, because those of you that know me will know that for the last 23 years, and this year does make 23 years, I have been working with all different sizes of businesses. So I've worked with corporates, I've worked with high street retailers, quite a number of them, House of Fraser, Marks and Spencer's, TK Maxx, you name it, I've done it, because I worked for a town centre where I was responsible for a lot of the marketing to get footfall into the area. I've also worked with public sector, charities, smaller businesses, community interest groups, and so on. And if there's one thing that I've learned over the last few years of running my own business, and this year actually makes it my 6th year, it's that textbook marketing is what everyone else is doing. Yeah. If you're watching live now or you watch the replay, let me know where you're watching from and what industry you're in so that I could try and give you some live tips today. So textbook marketing is what everyone's doing. And I try and teach and coach around non-textbook marketing and branding. And the relevance of branding to marketing is that if you don't have a brand that you're confident in, then you can't possibly promote it the way you want to, online and offline, which means that your sales will not be as great as you want them to be. So good morning, Caroline. How are you doing? So the non-textbook way of me talking about branding, and in particular storytelling, which is what I'm going to focus on this morning, is that everyone talks about this behind the scenes. So a lot of experts and gurus will tell you, morning Aishia, that to be a really effective brand, you've got to tell your brands, you've got to show behind the scenes. Okay, well, I'm going to add a bit more weight to that, because obviously in my experience of working with all these companies, one of the things that I know is that really good brands connect on an emotional level. So it's not just about sharing behind the scenes. Okay, if someone can just write along with me, that'd be great. So the first point is brands connect on an emotional level. Okay, they will normally draw in the reader or the listener or the viewer so that people understand or connect with them on some kind of wavelength when it comes to the brain. Okay, now there is a little bit more, intellectual speak about this, but I'm not a scientist or an expert in this field. So when it comes to the science of it, I don't want to go into that because I'm not qualified to speak on that. But what I will tell you is, if someone gives you a story and it's a powerful story, powerful enough for you to resonate with it, you're going to warm to that person. And then the know, like, and trust factor comes in. So if we think about brands we like, some of you let me know what brands you like. Some of my brands that I really like are brands that are particularly good at being funny. I'm a quirky person. I like to have a lot of humor around me. Morning, Cynthia. Thank you, Tanya. And so I connect with brands that have got a particular flair about them. So for example, some of my favorite brands are innocent drinks, just because of the side of the label is humorous, the side label, the packaging. Virgin, because of the experience, the personalized experience that they give me. Even if you're using the toilet on Virgin Train, you have a voice speaking to you, and it's a very unique experience. And so brands connect with you on an emotional level, and it depends on how you as a consumer, what your preferences are, what makes you actually interact with a brand. So when you think about some of your favorite brands, let me just look through some of them. Thank you for that, Charmaine. When you think about some of your favorite brands, let me just get from you who some of your favorite brands are, and we'll have a conversation around that. And hopefully my screen isn't showing up fuzzy. But what I want to share with you is this. On an emotional level, brands will connect with you. And once they have connected with you on an emotional level, it's then about them nurturing relationships with you, online and offline. So if you think about if you've ever gone to an event and heard someone speak, or if you've ever made a phone call to someone, and then as a result of that phone call, you've bought something, or you're thinking about buying something, it's usually a process. Now, textbook marketing will tell you that it's the AIDA technique, which is attention, interest, desire, and action. So there are like 4 different levels under which someone might engage with your brand. And the first one is attention. So anyone watching this now, morning Joy, anyone watching this now might see my brand, never seen me before, don't know Vee Roberts. I've got their attention. I'm in front of them. Either they've seen a video, they've seen a pre-recorded video, a leaflet, something has drawn their attention. Now, once I've got their attention, it's my job, whether I'm doing an online product or an offline product, to retain that attention. Okay, so that they then become interested. So that might be me actually reaching out to them. It could be me doing a retargeting campaign, for example, and I'm not going to go into that now. It could be me inviting them onto a consultation or a free call. It could be me inviting them down to my workshop or a front-facing store, a physical store. And these are all ways in which brands will get you interested, okay? So once they've got your attention, they're going to get you interested, and then you're going to have a desire. Over a length of time, people call it the sales funnel. I don't really do all of that textbook speak, but over a length of time, as you nurture relationships with people, they will decide whether or not your brand is for them. And it's fine if you're not for them. But when you're going through that sales funnel, what happens is you are nurturing a relationship. So it goes from attention to interest to desire, where they actually want to find out more about you. They're really, really interested in what you do. And then from there, it goes to action, where they're probably going to take out their wallet or their cash and spend money with you, right? Let me know if that's making sense so far. And also, please, someone do confirm whether or not I'm sounding okay in terms of the screen, because it looks clear in front of me. And it also looks clear on my phone, but I'm not sure. So just let me know your favorite brands. Tanya said, I'm a fan of River Island and also Virgin. Excellent. Okay, so I've named some of my brands. So the reason I'm explaining that intro to you is that when we think about brands in relation to our brands, we need to be thinking about the emotional experience. Okay, so that was point number 1 that I made. That emotional connection, how people resonate with you, what your story is. So that's much more than textbook speak behind the scenes, which is what a lot of us do. We post a picture of our coffee cup, we post a picture of our feet at the train station, we post a picture of us, waking up in the morning, or a picture of our books, a nice flat lay. But what people really want to be able to connect with is you as a human. So what needs to come through when you're talking in your brand story is your personalized tone, okay? And any one of you that have worked with me before, you'll know that I talk about personalized branding. Whether you're a personal brand or not, whether you see yourself as the face of your brand or not, your brand has to have a personality. So that's point number 2, brand personality. So forget about the textbook stuff, because that's going to tell you about brand storytelling being behind the scenes. Brand storytelling is about brand personality as well. So it's about you conveying who you are, some of your traits, some of your values, maybe some of the things you believe in, and making sure that the people that you want to connect with to build a community online and offline of, raving fans or people that are maybe interested or may refer you to others that will actually buy into what you say. Okay, so we're going past the know, like, and trust factor now. We're thinking about brand personality. Good morning, Tony. How are you doing? So you've got your brand personality sorted. You've thought about, how it is you're going to show up as a brand. You've done all the textbook side of things in terms of understanding that you need to get their attention. So hopefully those of you that are watching are getting attention. You're doing a live stream, you've got a freebie of some kind, or you're doing a bit of outreach offline. Maybe you're going to lots of networking events, and may I add, the right networking events, okay? And you've sorted out the emotional element of your brand story. So you're connecting with people by sharing elements of your story. The best way to do that in terms of the emotional connection is to understand how your personal journey, and there'll only be snippets of it, relates to your ideal clients. So if I give you the example of me, okay, for those of you that have never seen me before, I'm a mother of 4, and I was actually made redundant from my job that I'd been in for over 16 years before spending all my redundancy money and then deciding when I was on my last £100 that I was actually going to start my business. So in that example, when I share that element of my story, and it does depend on my product or my service that I'm talking about at the time, I will normally be able to resonate with mothers, carers, people that have been made redundant, people that are currently in employment or thinking about going into a new business idea. And that is fundamental, because we need to understand as entrepreneurs that to connect with the potential audience or clients that will be able to resonate with us, we have to have elements of our story that resonate with them. Okay, so far we've covered off, and please do, if you just joined, please do let me know what your favorite brands are. So far we've covered off the emotional connection. Okay, we've also covered off the brand experience, I believe, when I started off. And then also I've just spoken to you about the brand personality. Very, very important when you're building your brand. Okay, if you think about this historical element of your brand as well, again, non-textbook speak. So I'm not talking about behind the scenes, which is what a lot of gurus will tell you. I'm now talking about the historical sides of your brand. So why you started your business. When you think about brands like John Lewis, IKEA, Disney, Coca-Cola, those are brands, and you might want to go and check them out or their websites, that tell really good, powerful brand stories that resonate with the consumer. I'm sure everyone that's on the live right now, whether they drink Coca-Cola or not, can remember the Coca-Cola campaign where you had the name on the bottle. Yeah, give me an emoji or something if you can remember that one. Or the John Lewis campaign where they shared a story of people buying gifts. I think it was for grandpa, or remembering the man on the moon. I can just about remember it myself. And IKEA, where they told the story of the flat pack and the journey of the flat pack item, and how it, builds into becoming its masterpiece. So brands do effectively tell stories, and that's what makes us want to actually bond with them and know and trust them. And when we trust them, that's when we'll spend money with them. So when you're thinking about your brand, think about the personality of your brand. Okay, you as a brand, what's your personality? Are you going to be straightforward, formal? Are you going to be humorous? Are you going to be quite corporate? Are you going to have certain values that you want to portray? Because that's very important. Again, when you're sharing your brand story, you need to be coming from a place of truth. People want to know about your truth. People like transparent brands. Okay. And the other thing you want to be thinking about when you are building your brand is how you share your experiences. So that could be a challenge you've had, a failure, which I call an experience, because every single experience or failure is an opportunity for you to actually look and learn and listen, okay, and share that with people. So you want to be thinking about how you can share your experience and your failures, okay? I don't like the word failures, I prefer the word experience, so I'm going to use the word experience for this live. So think about how you are sharing your experiences. That could be, something that you've learned, a lesson well learned. So for example, with me, I often share my experience of where I had 4 events that I put on in 1 week, which were really, really good, really great bums on seats. I had 90 people at one event, I had 40 at another, I had 30 at another, and I think I had about 15 at another one, which was quite a small target, but I exceeded my targets. And I was panicking about that event because I was literally working little old me on the event, and it was a real struggle. Okay, so let me just quickly send a message here. So 1 second. So in terms of how I've built my brand, I've made sure I've been transparent. I've actually shared as much as I can. And I've also thought about my customer journey and how they might resonate with my brand. And so as brands today, for those of you that are watching, what I would encourage you to do is think about some of these things in relation to how you are currently showing up. Because a lot of us are doing the textbook speak of, sharing behind the scenes. In fact, we're starting to even use that language, behind the scenes, thinking that that's how you share your brand story. But actually, if you want to connect with a particular audience or customer, first of all, you need to know why you've chosen that customer or why that customer might resonate with your brand. And secondly, you need to piece together how elements like your brand story will resonate with them. So the brand experience, the emotional connection, the fact that you are going to want to make sure that they understand what you're about, your values, okay? The personality, which I've already explained, the history behind your brand, why you started up, what you do, and also looking at the challenges or experiences you face. And I'm going to add one more in, which I know might get a few people's backs up, but part of your brand story is also sharing your wins. It's about sharing your wins and your client wins, okay? And the reason that I believe this is because when I first got onto the scene, nobody knew who I was. And to be quite frank with you, a lot of people didn't like the fact that I blew my own trumpet. But having been in the industry at the time for a number of years, when I first started out doing insight2marketing, which is my other page, I knew that my strengths were building brands, developing existing brands, creating really good compelling campaigns with great visibility, and also helping businesses to grow through more sales and also leads. So I was really confident in that. And in fact, I have over 250 testimonials, which actually back that up. So yes, part of my brand story is sharing my wins, my customer successes. Now, other people prefer to share how much money they make. Other people prefer to share, how much money their clients make. But that's not part of my brand personality. So as long as you understand what your brand personality is, and as long as you understand the elements of your story that will resonate with other people and how you want to show up, the emotional connection that you want to give off, the vibe, if you like, okay, you will be able to effectively launch your business into a bigger zone than it is already, okay? Because the mistake a lot of us are making, or rather the experience that a lot of us are having, is that we are doing what everyone else is doing, okay? Which is the behind the scenes. You as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, it is your job to want to connect with people on an emotional level. So simply posting a picture of a coffee cup that your daughter bought you, or a pair of shoes that you've bought, that's not necessarily going to be connecting with anyone in your network or your audience or your online community if, for example, you're a lawyer, right? So you want to be sharing things and tips and valuable information about your brand story that resonates with your community, okay? Now, some more of you have said some of your brands. Debbie said Zara. Okay, excellent. We've got River Island there. Who else likes brands? What's your favorite brands? Let's just have a quick chat about those. And we've got a comment here. Good morning, Moses. We've got a comment here. Could I share why we offer free consultations to see whether they are the right client for me or if I'm right for them? No, I don't think you need to share that as part of your brand story. I mean, that's a very good question, Tanya. This is my personal advice, and obviously you would make the final decision here. I don't think you need to share why you offer a free consultation, because that's your business and that's your business ways of working. That's just a process. So I don't think you need to explain the process of why you offer free consultations, but what you might want to offer is some advice on weddings relating to your story as a business, why you started up in, for example, international weddings, why you enjoy doing wedding planning, why you enjoy, working with brides and grooms and the different services you've got, some of the client case studies you've had as a wedding planner, and then invite people on the back of that to take a free consultation with you. Now, ideally, that free consultation should be pre-qualified. And obviously, this is just advice from me. So when you've got their interest, you've got their attention, you've got their interest, Tanya, what you'd then be doing is, once they've understood what it is you do and some of your wins and how you work with clients, you want to pre-qualify them, ideally with some kind of survey or way of you understanding that they are your customer. So if you want to do international weddings, you're not necessarily going to want to be attracting people that only want weddings in Norfolk or Suffolk, as an example, okay? And this is all just hypothetical examples because I'm not using any kind of script. Let me know if that answered your question. You are welcome to talk about why you don't share, why you offer free consultations, but I don't think that constitutes part of your brand story. As I said, the brand story is more about you connecting with the audience, them understanding why you do what you do, but more intensely, you actually conveying the reason that you are in business, the reason why you offer certain services, maybe your personal journey, the way that you and your team work, experiences that you've had, challenges that you've had, the emotional side of your brand. So if there's a reason why you started your business, maybe you went through trauma, maybe you have, change in work-life balance, maybe you've had a massive transformation in your home life, that could be something that resonates with your clients, particularly if you're a life coach or you're someone who, for example, does counseling, or, you offer some kind of online service. If you've got a product, it's a little bit different, but the same rules apply. You've got to understand what motivates people to want to buy your t-shirt or your pin cushion or whatever it is you make. Okay, so let me know if that makes sense. It's very important that you are clear on the why people would buy from you, their emotional needs in buying from you, where they are before they get to your brand. In other words, what they're looking for. Okay, but more importantly, how you are a fit for them. And then you share with them through your brand story at different times how your brand fits with their needs. Okay, so let me know if that makes sense. All right, thank you, Tanya, for confirming. All right, so we've got another two. Oh, British Airways, that's interesting. So Charmaine says Fitbit and British Airways are her favorite two brands. Anyone else care to share their two brands that they like, or two or three brands that they like? I also do like the high street shopping. I like the Waitrose experience because it's very, very smooth in terms of the navigation around the store in comparison to, for example, Aldi or Lidl, which, as my daughter quite rightly said the other day, you'll be in the vegetable aisle and you'll see, a t-shirt for sale right next to the veg. So, it's about the brand experience and how you resonate with brands. It is about your preferences as well. So as long as you understand why people would buy your brand, okay, it's your job to make sure you get their attention, right? So make sure you've got some kind of freebie. And if it's not a freebie, make sure you've got some way of connecting with them on an emotional level. And then when you've got their interest, make sure that you've got a way of nurturing the relationship. Now, that could be via automated emails. It could be via a series of calls. It's whatever you see fit, because you are the boss of your business. Now, we listen a lot to gurus, and these gurus are telling us nonstop, tell your brand story, right? Tell your brand story, share behind the scenes. But hopefully my video today has shared with you that it's way beyond that. It's way beyond sharing your brand story, okay? It's way beyond sharing rather the behind the scenes. It's about you actually showing up and thinking about the consumer before you post that live video. It's about you showing up and thinking about why someone would buy from you before you start doing how-to tips or a demonstration. It's about you having clear understanding of your audience and why you're in business, okay? So, excellent. Tanya said the reason behind why I want to build a one-stop shop. Again, Tanya, really good question there. It's not about the why you want to build a one-stop shop, because that's your story about the reason why you've gone into a new area of your business. It's more about what your one-stop shop does and how it might impact other people, what the benefit would be to the customer who comes to your one-stop shop, the reason why you offer a one-stop shop. Yeah. And I think that might be what you mean when you say the reason behind why you want to build a one-stop shop. Obviously, for me as a coach and consultant, I'm reading into that as you explaining to the consumer the reason why you're starting up doing all different services under one brand's name. But to the consumer, that's not necessarily going to be any value. What the consumer wants to know is the services you offer under your one brand name, why you offer them, and the benefits of them coming to you to actually pay for you to do some work. So let me know if that made sense as well. All right, so thank you for those of you who are live. If anyone's got any questions, please do feel free to jump in and ask me a question. I'll hang around for another 5 minutes or so. But do remember that when you're building your brand, it's about you. Okay, we've got a lot of people that will tell you that you've got to show up a certain way and that you've got to sound a certain way. And honestly, I ignored all that advice, partly because I'd been in the industry for 16 plus years before starting my business. But secondly, because real brand authenticity is about you. It's about you as a brand. It's about you as a person and how you want to show up. It's not about someone else dictating how you should show up. And it's certainly not about you putting on airs and graces because you feel like that's what everyone wants to see. For you to be a confident and comfortable brand in sharing your story, you really have to be comfortable and confident in sharing what you know and in also showing up as who you truly are. All right. So excellent. All right. So Tanya said that's what I meant. All right. Hey, Danielle, how you doing? So Danielle said Aldi, IKEA, and Amazon. You know what? I spoke to someone this week about Amazon, and I do agree, actually. Amazon is quite a good brand. This person said to me it's really good for returns if you've got a fault with a product. But also, I was saying it's really good for delivery time. I've recently ordered some kit for my business. Some of you may know I'm expanding my team. And I did an order on Amazon and did next day delivery on Prime. And even for non-Prime products, actually, I was being offered really quick response times, which was phenomenal because, in terms of customer experience, that's brilliant. And I will speak about customer experience on my YouTube. So look out for a video that's coming on that, because I had a customer experience this week, which was rather interesting in an eyebrow shop. And I'm going to help you understand why the customer experience is business critical in you building your brand too. So with that, I'm going to chip off. Charmaine said, yes, Amazon Prime is the one. Yes, it is. I think it is. I'll definitely agree with that. So if you've got any takeaways from today, please do share this video. Please do let someone know. Please do tag someone in. If you're in any groups, please do let your groups know that I am sharing regularly and consistently lots of branding tips and also marketing advice. If any of you feel stuck this year, go and check out my YouTube channel. See all of the information I've got there around how you can make more money in 2019, how you can get better results from your branding and marketing efforts, how you should be using social media to go beyond just posting quotes, all right, a motivational talk, and actually getting people to be interested in your brand and buying from you online, okay? These are all the things that's available from me absolutely free on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Twitter, and on Instagram. And I've just uploaded some new videos on IGTV. So let me just put in my hashtag, and some of you may know this already. I'm going to put it in here. And I'm also going to just say to you that the new videos on IGTV are on 2 pages. So let me just let you know where they are. Insight2Marketing and also Insight2Social, which is more active on Instagram than any other platform, the Insight2Social one. So I've just put that in there. Any of you have any questions, let me know. You can message me via this page and I'll be sure to get back to you. All right. I hope you've enjoyed today's session. If you've had any key learnings, do comment and let me know what they were. But remember, it's not necessarily about the textbook marketing. It's about you finding your own, being brand you, and showing up as who you truly are, so that when you share your brand story, people connect with you on an emotional level and want to do business with you. All right? Take care, everyone, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.